great day to be a Hawk. Welcome to this new edition of Hawk Talk Monday. Today's Hawk Talk is all about being nice. Very simple message. Where did I get this one from? Well, over the weekend, I love to watch sports. I watch Michigan State football. I watched some of the Michigan game. I watched the Lions. Yesterday, though, I ran across something that caught my interest, and it taught me a lesson. And I thought that that lesson might be good to remind Harvey Swanson students of as well. So, before we get started, here are some sports words to know for today's Hawk Talk. First, the Boston Red Sox. Now, if you're a baseball fan, this is Major League Baseball, so these are the professional athletes. They get paid to play. You might know that the Boston Red Sox are the team that knocked out the Detroit Tigers, and the Boston Red Sox are going to the World Series. So that's a baseball team. Another baseball team that you may or may not be aware of are the New York Yankees. They're a traditional powerhouse team. They're usually really good every year. They've won the most World Series titles of any baseball team in existence. Rival. That might be a new word for most of Harvey Swanson's student body. A rival, it's like a sports enemy. So, there are certain teams that don't like to play each other because they don't really like each other. One example that you might know is Michigan versus Michigan State. Those guys are rivals. They want to beat each other badly every time they get on the field together. Another rival, and the biggest rivalry in Major League Baseball, are the Boston Red Sox versus the New York Yankees. Most of the time, these teams do not like each other. They want to beat each other more than they want to beat any other team on their schedule. These guys are rivals. Mariano Rivera. Today's Hawk Talk, and the lesson I learned yesterday was taught to me because of Mariano Rivera. Mariano Rivera is a pitcher. He's the guy that throws the ball and he tries to get batters out. His job as a pitcher is that he's a closer. A closer is the last pitcher that comes into a game if his team is winning, and his job is to get the final 3 outs of the game. His job is to finish the other team off. Usually the closer is the most despised player on the other team. So if the Tigers were playing the Yankees, who Mariano Rivera plays for, when Mariano Rivera comes in, we fear him. We don't want him to come pitch to our batters. Closers, that's their job, to come get the final 3 outs of a game. They have to be fearless. They have to be intimidating. They have to be relentless. Mariano Rivera played for the Yankees. He's a pitcher, and he was the guy that closed the games for them. You guys are learners. Your teachers are learners. I'm a learner. When you're a learner, a person who constantly wants to learn new things and learn from anything that you see, you're going to learn lessons in all areas of life. I learned a lesson, or it made me think about some different things when I watched Mariano Rivera's story on TV yesterday. What I want you guys to know, before I show you some clips of some special things that happened to Mariano Rivera before he retired, are that great athletes retire every year. Some of the greatest athletes every year, their career will be over, they're going to move on to do something else, but their job as an athlete is going to be done. To retire means that your job that you've had for a career is done. You're moving on to something else, or you're moving on to rest and relaxation. The other thing I want you guys to know before I show you some clips is that not all of them, even the greatest athletes, not all of them are celebrated like Mariano Rivera has been. Not all of them are celebrated like Mariano Rivera has been. Here are some clips I want you to watch, and I want you to think and see how some of the different celebrations that people threw for Mariano to celebrate his retirement, see what you can get from them. See what they make you think. Here they are.
Mariano Rivera. Max Stadium, an all-star game. Mariano Rivera was out on that field all alone. It's his spotlight. It's his 8th inning. Best in the business.
What did you notice about this first clip? Did you notice that he was honored to be the only person on the field? Did you notice that teams from both dugouts, that's where all the players are, doesn't matter if they were on his team or on a different team, did you notice how they reacted to Mariano's last trip to the mound? What you just saw was the All-Star game. It took place in July of this past summer. Different players, the best players in baseball from all the different teams around the league come together to play this game. All different teams. What I want you guys to know is that I would bet that Mariano Rivera has gotten almost every single player in those dugouts. He's gotten them out either by a strikeout or a ground out, and he's disappointed them because they wanted to come through for their team. And remember, his role as a closer is to finish out the game. So these great athletes would come to the plate, and he would get them out. He was probably the greatest closer in the history of Major League Baseball. Keep that in mind, though. Even though he had gotten them out, probably a lot of them, a lot of times, how do they react? They stood for him. They cheered for him. They let him have the mound all to himself. Some of them tipped their caps. They really honored Mariano. It was a really neat way to celebrate his appearance at the All-Star game. The All-Star game took place in the middle of summer, right after the first half of the baseball season was over. The second half was yet to come. Watch this clip.
You understood. You were a good sport, and you acknowledged us. You have been the greatest closer, and you have been the classiest of competitors. And tonight, it is our pleasure to welcome you to the field to accept small tokens of our appreciation for the virtues and the values that you embody. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome future Hall of Famer, Mariano Rivera. And the man presenting that gift to you is the one player on this team who was on that team, our own beloved Big Papi, David Ortiz.